Doesn't that look pretty? That looks so pretty.
It does.
Yeah.
My little wooden tree.
But it's darling.
And it's just a little cutout, so these will fold. You know, they just fold up.
Really cute. You ready?
Yep.
Hi, welcome to genxoomers, real talk on just about anything. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Julie.
And this is our final show for 2020. And we thought, yes, it's the end of the year. We can't even believe it.
So hard to believe.
This has been an arduous year. It's been just a crazy ride. We wanted to end on an uplifting note, and we are bringing back Gwinn McGlothern. She is a master life coach, which we thought was so apropos because she was our first featured guest when we launched genxoomers earlier this year. We launched in June. And since that time, Julie and I were just talking about it. I think this is episode 12. We've had 6 featured guests.
I think it's 7.
Okay, 7. And we want to thank all those women that were gracious to join us on this show. We really appreciate your support, and we hope that your story has inspired other women. Sure has inspired us, and we learned a lot from you.
A lot. We've learned a lot from the people that we've had on the show.
Gwinn McGlothern is going to be our Rudolph as we sit in our sleigh and let her take us away on a rituals ride.
Hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, Jenny.
Thank you. You caught me. I just was about to light some candles.
You look really festive today. I love the pink. This is our brand color, this pink you're wearing.
Well, I didn't even plan it. It's just my new favorite sweater that I bought.
It's darling.
Summer.
And are you in a rocker?
I'm in a rocker.
Oh.
So my husband and I got this for our first baby, and I wanted to get rid of it. And he's like, "Are you kidding me? I have rocked how many?"
He's very sentimental.
Oh. Yeah, he's so sentimental. So we actually just painted our living room this week. It used to be a green, and we lightened everything up, and I'm keeping the chair out here. Got rid of our couch, just wanted less furniture.
Yeah.
And this is really our favorite chair. So we'll have to battle over it every morning, who's going to get first.
And the color's beautiful. It's sort of a mustard yellow.
Well, and what's interesting about rockers?
Is it a mustard?
Oh, it's pine. It's just pine.
Oh, it's pine. But
it does look mustard.
It does. Okay, it is pine. It has this yellow hue to it, and that's just probably the video. But,
okay.
And I see Mr. Snowman behind you, and that's very cute.
I collect snowmen.
Oh.
And yeah, they're all over the house. Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so Jenny, we're going to get started. And I've already done your intro. But the only thing, why don't you give us a little 30-second commercial on you? Who is Gwinn McGlothern?
Okay, got it. Okay, I'm going to pour my tea as I do that.
All righty. Take us away, Rudolph.
I love it. Ladies, thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be here. When we talked about doing rituals, that's my language. As a life coach, as a retreat leader, that is something that I'm thrilled about when my clients want to go there, when they want to create rituals in their own life that are life-giving and grounding and connect them to spirit, connect them to their best selves. And so that's really my passion. I have created an anchored deck. It is a deck that is used for mindfulness. And currently I'm writing 2 books to go along with, one to go with the book and one to go with my practice of Mama Needs a Refill. And I currently have clients that are online. We just have conversations around going deep, around getting them to where they want to go. So I teach people that your cup is your soul, and it's about filling it spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
Yeah.
So that's where I am, seeing clients on the phone. I have been doing, I believe it or not, 3 virtual retreats, getting my books out into the world.
That's exciting.
Exciting.
Yes. Well, we should cheer you on because we told
Cheers.
everybody that this is your
Do
show.
it.
You're leading the way, and
Okay.
we are going to ride the sleigh with you.
Yeah. Cheers to you, Jenny.
Cheers to you two ladies. Thank you
cheers to
so
you.
much. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. So to me, one of my favorite rituals is a toast. I am the person who is known for whether we're gathered for coffee or tea or cocktails or meal, dinner, breakfast, lunch, it doesn't matter. When I'm with at least one other person, I love to raise my glass, whatever is in it, and toast to them. It's almost like the namaste, the light in me, toast the light in you.
Right.
And so that's just something that's very important to me. So rituals are really important right now, especially with the pandemic, especially with us being shut in and life not as it was before. And the reason why it's important to create and establish your own rituals is because that's something that nobody can take away from you. A ritual, and we're going to dive into what that is. A ritual during these times creates structure. A lot of people thrive with structure, creates grounding. It opens us up to our best self. That's really important. So no one can cancel your ritual, right? During these uncertain times when our plans have just gotten canceled, one thing after another, no one can take that from you. Rituals can be transportable. You can take them with you wherever you are. And I'll talk about that. I have my little ritual basket, which is full of goodies I just keep it by my chair or by my bedside. And then I have my basket full of the books that I'm currently reading and a journal that I'm currently filling.
Oh, you're so neat. You should see my my nightstand looks like an explosion. Or
Well, does it have everything on it
got
that you
stacks of
love?
journals. I have a journal for this, a journal for
Yeah.
that. I have a journal for meditation. I have a journal for aspirations,
20 books I'm going to read, or 20
Yep.
books I'm going to read, and 3 books I'm reading now that
Yeah.
still haven't read all year. But
Okay.
I love the idea of having a basket or something you can pick up and take with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to adopt that idea.
That's a good idea.
Good. Well, I think that sometimes with our nightstands, and believe me, I've been the person who's had the 20 books stacked up on my nightstand, but it's very important for me for things to have order and to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So on my nightstand in my bedroom, I have a candle. I have a couple of statues, a picture of my husband, and some hearts. I collect hearts. And 1 or 2 books and 1 or 2 journals neatly piled. And then I weed through, and below on the shelf and on the ground are different baskets. And I weed through, and if I'm really okay, am I really going to read this season? Then I'll put it downstairs in the office on the bookshelf. So weeding through, how would you feel if in the morning you didn't wake up and see 20, you saw 3 books?
Yes.
And then would you be more apt to pick one up?
I'd like to see one.
Okay.
I definitely, well, it depends on my mood, because if I'm going to meditate in the morning, I don't meditate every morning, but then if I meditate, I need the book, because the meditation, I tend to be drawn to the Chopra Oprah meditations.
Oh,
I
great.
love those meditations, and and Oprah, she radiates so much knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I want to write down, that was said very well. I want to remember that. Or Chopra, or some of the intentions before the meditation. I want to remember that because sometimes I'll do the meditation and whoop, what was that about?
And then it's gone. Do you meditate in bed then, Sharon?
I do. It's my favorite.
That's great.
It's my most favorite. In fact, my bed is my office.
Okay, I love it.
In the morning.
So sanctuary as well as productivity.
Yes, both.
Okay.
I get a lot of good thinking done in that bed.
Well, this makes me realize it's important to state the difference between a ritual and routine.
Mm-hmm.
So a ritual is something that you do with intention to connect you either to your best self, your soul, your spirit, or to your higher power if you have one and believe in one. And a routine is something that you do in order to get all the things done that you want to get done. So I have my routine at night, washing my face, brushing my teeth. I do one before the other. That's my routine. But you can make routine things ritual. In fact, maybe let's just jump in there. Washing the dishes, walking your dog, these things that have to get done, if they're done with a spirit of intention and mindfulness, it can definitely be a ritual. When I do my physical therapy in the morning, that is when, in order to hold those poses of my exercises for a particular amount of time, instead of counting, I say blessings and prayers for people in my life.
That's a great idea. That's a really great idea.
Beautiful.
I'll never forget some of the most beautiful words I heard from a pastor was that to live our life as a prayer. It's not just, you get on your knees, you genuflect, you say your thing, you live your life as a prayer. So any of these rituals can have a prayerful mindset to them. Mm-hmm. Lighting a candle. My favorite thing when someone says, Jenny, I'm having surgery tomorrow, or my mother is ill, will you pray for me? And I light a candle. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, lighting a candle is very sacred. Mm-hmm. And it also eliminates the need for a lot of words. Just that act of lighting a candle shows my intention. And the more you do these rituals, the more they become a part of you. And then the more you open up that spiritual connection, if that's something that's important to you.
Can I interject something? Because you said something about the candle. The candle represents more than words. And it reminds me, as I mentioned, I think to you earlier, that I've been reading quite a bit or revisiting Joseph Campbell. Campbell says his transcendence, it's beyond words. Your connection with spirit is beyond words. There really aren't any words to replace the connection, the energetics that you feel when you feel you're connected to something beyond the physical.
I'm so delighted that you brought that up, Sharon, because it's an example that it's not what you do, it's how you be. So the more simple your ritual, often the deeper you can go.
I'm writing that down. I was looking for a pen to write it down.
Where's your notebook?
Yeah. To create a ritual, you got to ask, does this feed me? Is this feeding my soul? Is this feeding me spiritually? That's really the most important question to ask. And so I invite people during this time where it's really a gift that we're given this opportunity to slow down. So the things that we're doing, we can ask ourselves, is this feeding me or is this draining me? Mm-hmm. I used to ritually wake up, grab my phone, and just mindlessly start scrolling. And when I stopped and realized this isn't feeding me, and I gave myself some loving boundaries. Jenny, you cannot check your phone until you've meditated. You cannot check your phone until you've connected to spirit. And So it can be so simple. Standing up, getting out of bed, and turning to all four directions, north, south, east, west, plugging into your spirit animals, plugging into your archangels. That's an example. Giving thanks to three things, either just arms open, outstretched to the sky is a simple ritual. I have not been wearing jewelry during the pandemic, but I wanted to put jewelry on to, this is a cup that my girlfriend gave to me for my 50th birthday. And
Oh, it's pretty.
when I wear something, whether it's, bracelet or earrings or something I can hold, I prefer a necklace to hold, I stop and I plug into God, I plug into spirit, or I connect to gratitude. That to me is a ritual. Pausing, oh yeah, being reminded, oh, this is my cup, how can I fill it? I can pause, take some breaths. Which another thing, okay, so I have my little espresso cup of rocks and crystals. So keep a little rock in your pocket. I wear jeans all the time. So when you're on a walk, you put your hand in your pocket and you have a rock to remind you to think of your blessings. My mother-in-law died in July, and the four of us, my husband and kids and I, we weren't at home. We were at a friend's cabin. And when we got the news, we were driving home, and we immediately pulled over. We were headed to Deception Pass just to take a little hike. And, we just had fresh given this news. It was not at all expected. And we were away from her, and we were just with each other in this beautiful spot, Deception Pass. And I said, let's just all just take this a walk, and then let's just meet over on that cliff, and everyone bring a rock, grab a rock. So we all just grabbed a rock, on our path. And then I invited my family just to hold the rock and just think of something of their grandma B that is a treasure and a blessing to them. And then either speak it out or toss it in silence. And my family, we can all be very introverted. So we all just silently blessed the rock, thanking Barbara for her life, and tossed it. That's a ritual. So just your whole day can be peppered with rituals of connection and meaning, and just the simplest act, pulling a rock out of your pocket, stopping and holding on to something that anchors you to meaning.
So let me ask you this, because there are days where I'll pick up my phone, but I go right to a certain place that offers me inspiration.
Okay.
And would that be considered a ritual? Am I connecting to something? Somebody else is inspiring me that helps me to connect, how circles back for me to connect to something within myself. It's almost like this feel good moment. It's not an addiction. It's more like it fills me. It fills me. So
then yes, absolutely.
Okay.
A ritual should leave you a little better than you were before.
Okay, that's a nice definition of a ritual. It should leave you a little better than you were before. Okay.
Because what doesn't work is if you go to your phone for your ritual and you get distracted by things that then take you away from feeling good and feeling better.
A ritual also should leave us with reflection. And, I was involved in the Catholic Church for years. And there are some, and I'm not anymore, and there are some things about that rote ritual, doing something the same way again and again, that it's intended to feed us. It's intended to feed you. But that's when you have to stop and question, is this feeding me, or am I just doing this because I've always done it? If you're not reflecting and you're just rotely doing this, then you're not connecting to your higher self. You're not connecting to source or higher power. It's just, you're just, what's just going. I love altars. And
So do I.
downstairs in my office, I have an altar that has, you know, my Ganesh, my Buddha, my rosary, my crystals, and my rocks and candles and things that have meaning, my spirit animal statues. But it doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be something really simple, you know, a stone that you get from your walk, a vase of flowers, you know, it can represent all the elements, fire, air, water. It can represent what's important to you. So I love on my windowsill, where I am every day in the kitchen 10 times a day, I have simple things that remind me to connect, whether it's a glassy baby with a candle or a glassy baby with my anchor words. So keep it simple, ask if it feeds you. Gosh, there are so many different things that I wrote down that that you can do, but I would play. I would play and be creative with what feeds you. And if you're hungry for some sustenance in your life, ask yourselves, what elements should that contain? Whether it's journaling, whether it's reading, whether it's silence, and choose those things so that they can become a part of your ritual. And you can have a I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say, I completely identify with the altar. I have an altar at my kitchen window as well. And I have my Ganeshas there, my Buddha there. I have a gratitude rock. I have multiple rocks and stones. And it's wonderful, as well as some gifted plants that just, it's like a little, well, it's a sacred space. It's a sacred space right there in front of the window. And I think I love the way that you put it, that it connects you to something. It connects you to spirit. It connects you. It feeds you. So I was going to ask you, though, do you have any sacred spaces in the house? Do you have any sacred spaces around your house that you...
So I kind of have a little something in every room. We have a small house. There's 4 of us that live here. So in our bedroom, I keep my nightstand as a sacred space, and I often meditate in bed. I do have the office, and I'm primarily the only person that uses the office, and I have a large altar there. Coming out here into our living room, if I'm not in this chair, I'm in another chair, and I have things that I can look at that create sacred space. And I'm so glad that that's a word that we're going with, because sacred space should be right in here. You can take it with you wherever you go. But yes, being a visual person, I am as well. That definitely seeing things, you know, my angel that my maid of honor gave me, my snowmen that I collect, candles, pictures, these things definitely are hung because they mean something to me.
I love the fact that you collect hearts too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jenny, you had mentioned something about asking yourself what you need. What would you suggest? How do people handle that? Do you have some suggestions? Because you said whether it's journaling or meditation, or how do you go about asking yourself what it is you need?
The first thing is to pay attention to what you're always thinking about and what you're always saying. If you're always saying, oh, I wish I had time to read that stack of 20 books. Oh, I wish I had time to journal. Oh, I wish I was creative. If you're saying these things repetitively, those are clues from your soul to honor them. And a great way to get clear is a blank page of a journal and asking yourself, you know, what would fill me? But just start paying attention to your curiosity. Be curious like a child, and step into that playfulness of a kid, and what would feed me? And that's why I have my basket of books, and I don't read the same books every day, but I have books, whether it's poetry or whether it's a book I have to tell you about, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. It's this beautiful book. So
I
just
love the
having,
cover.
I do
isn't it
too.
fun?
The illustrations,
Mhm.
darling.
He's a
Yes.
British author. Follow him on Instagram. Give yourself options, make it simple, be curious. Does that answer your question, Julie?
I think that helps a lot. It simplifies it, because I think we can all feel overwhelmed and know that we need to do things or want to do things. But I think simplifying it to just said, like you said, a piece of paper, or really listening to what keeps coming up for you.
Here's a
Yeah.
good point you make too, Julie, is that, I love the fact that you should say, well, what feeds me? There are people out there that are incredibly busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I respond this way, especially if I have a lot of demands in front of me and think, I don't have time for this. I can do this later. I'll push this off. I'll push this off. How would you respond to that? What advice can you give to that person so that they don't push it off?
Do it the first thing in the morning. Bookend your day, something in the morning, something at night, right when you wake up, right before you go to bed. That's what I would offer. We can just get caught up in the day, come out into the kitchen, make our coffee, make our tea, just get pulled away from it. So make it something that you do every morning, whether you have a deck that you pulled from, goddess card deck, or my anchored deck, angel deck, inspiration deck, and just get quiet. What do I need today? And then you pull your card and you have that to guide you. You begin with gratitude. You have an intention in your day. Today, I intend to have some lightness. Today, I intend to be playful. Today, I intend to create joy. You start your day with that intention. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You don't do anything else. Everything else can wait. Nothing else is important. That's what's so great about the pandemic, and unfortunately, is that we're really forced to look at what's important.
Yes.
The news will still be there. The dishes will still be there. So that's what I would offer. First stinking thing in the morning.
And it doesn't have to
Good.
be that long, does it?
Absolutely not. No. Sometimes I have mornings where that's my favorite kind of morning, where I take 45 minutes and I do all these things. And, after meditating for 20 minutes, and I read one chapter here and one chapter there, and then I journal. But then there are days where it's like, you know what? It's 10 minutes and I'm going to connect to spirit, connect to myself, get aligned with my anchor words, and figure out my intention for the day. Short, sweet. And I notice that when I do that, I'm tethered. When I don't do that, I'm kind of wandering, spinning aimlessly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Holiday time, you're probably not getting together with friends and family like you used to, but it'd be a great time to ask, am I doing this holiday ritual because I love it? Or am I doing it because I'm supposed to?
Oh,
That's a really good point. I've been struggling with that. But I'm trying to think within the holidays, certain things I do. Am I doing it because I want to and I love to do this? Or am I doing this because I'm supposed to? Or this is what everyone else, or this is how people celebrate the holidays. So I have really been questioning some of those.
It's so interesting because obviously I plug in more to the whole idea of the season. It's winter. It's time to internalize and reflect and hibernate like bears do. And what I love about the tree is there's a ritual to the tree to me. I can't wait to get it out. And it's usually in the past, I'd wait until the last week right prior to Christmas. I'd wait maybe 3 days. Okay, let's get the tree out. Now I'm really in the mood normally because so consumed with work or assignments or whatever. But the tree has a grounding aspect to it for me. And the whole practice of getting a hot chocolate made, putting on music and putting on my bulbs, I'm in like nirvana when I'm doing that. I'm singing and I'm putting the bulbs on, and it's incredibly uplifting. So that part I float through, and sometimes I get Jerry involved and I say, come on, let's go, let's get the spirit up, start a fire. We don't
Let's
have
get the
fireplace right
spirit
now.
up. Love that. Come on.
Stir it up here.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
pump
so
it up.
beautiful. That's so beautifully described. That's what a ritual should be. And that's what the holidays are about. No matter what your beliefs are, no matter how you celebrate, it should be about that going within.
Right.
That hibernating, going within, reflecting, so that we can spread and share the joy, so that we can be the peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. What about you, Julie? What's a ritual for you?
You mean holiday or?
Do you find, is there something in the holidays that ground you? Or I was even thinking in general on a daily basis.
Well, on a daily basis, I think for me, well, I love getting out for walks or runs. That grounds me because I do a lot of thinking. I'm out in nature. I'm breathing fresh air. I just, that makes my day. And I'm not great about journaling lately as much as I enjoy it. And I think I need to, not, I think I need to, I want to. Just centering and thinking about at least 3 things that I am, and I know it becomes cliche, grateful for, but that
It's not though, it's
something to
never.
me, or
Yes.
that I'm sending out,
Right.
or thinking about someone, or whatever that is that I do. Try to take those few minutes. Because as you know, work has been busier than it has in a while, and I get sucked into that world. So staying off my phone's important. I think for me, getting on my phone first thing in the morning, no, because I get pulled into other things. So I've been better about putting my phone down. Like you said, Jenny, starting, doing it first thing in the morning. And then at night, I've found I have lately, when it's quiet, and I love that the lights are up now. I've strung some lights downstairs, to sit in the chair, take a deep breath. I think breathing is really important, your breath, and just like, okay, this is, again, it's kind of that gratitude. So that's my bookends.
That's
Beautiful.
a great cozy description of, cozying up to who you are, yourself, or what makes you feel good. Lights at this time of year,
Oh, I love them.
they're magical. Just sitting and looking at your Christmas tree and the lights, and how many ornaments over the years that I've put up the same ornaments, and I still look at them as if it was the first time. That's the childlike response.
The excitement, the
Yes,
giddiness.
wherein a child is like anticipating, oh, Santa's coming, we're gonna get a gift, but the feeling and the spirit. And
why I bring this up, I don't know, and I'm going off into a completely different direction, but when I was thinking about what it is that's important and what the differences between what you think you should be doing and what you really want to do. So the other day, as an example, I went out shopping, and really not much shopping, went to one store to try to find something, during COVID times, keeping things at a distance. Because as Sharon knows, years ago, we had all of our Christmas stuff stolen. We had something broken into pretty much all of our Christmas stuff was stolen.
Wow.
So I don't have that much that I really pull out anymore that I used to. And so I've let that go through the years. So I went out to buy a couple things, but it just didn't, I wasn't connected to it. It didn't really have meaning.
Right.
And I kind of came home, and I really didn't get much, but I came home thinking this doesn't feel connected to me.
Mhm.
It's like I'm supposed to, because I need to fill the house with some things, but I don't really, this stuff just doesn't connect with me.
Mhm.
Well,
I
now
felt
that you have
I
that
had-
awareness, you can make the shift.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
beautiful that you came to that reflection.
Dimming the lights a little bit
Yeah.
and, cleaning the house.
Or one little candle or one little ornament reminds you, oh yeah, this is the season of joy. This is the season of giving. This is the season of peace. And then seeing that visual then flips the switch to get you then to being in that place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, we get so caught up. Yeah,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
really
I
do.
know. I've had a lot of clients over the years be so stressed out during the holidays. And when I offered, well, what if you didn't do it that way?
Mhm.
They were like, oh, you mean I don't have to? Just remove the word should.
Mhm.
And I know that a lot of people are sad because they can't participate
Wow.
in the holidays like they used to. So,
Mhm.
download an app like Zoom or WhatsApp or Line or any of these, FaceTime, and do one of your rituals that feeds you with your people.
Mhm.
I mean, what
Yeah.
fun to have a group. It's just the way we think about how we do things and connect differently.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
heard something powerful about Zoom. Don't think of Zoom as the host. It's just the location.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And yeah, and how can you bring to it? Okay, everyone wear a feather boa, dress up as your favorite elf, make a signature cocktail.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah, it's a good.
it's gonna require stepping out of the box, thinking out of the box.
Jenny, tell us a little bit about your book. Tell us about your anchor deck.
Yes. So Mama Needs a Refill, Finding Light in the Madness of Motherhood is 52 cups about how to refill, how to fill your cup first so that you can pour for others. And Anchored will be a book that goes along with the deck. It has 70 different words and 7 different chakras, 10 words on each chakra color. And the idea is a simple word to anchor you throughout the day. Or if you have a question that you're grappling with, pulling a word. Now, you don't even have to have the deck. That's why I'm writing the book. It's to teach you this system of groundedness, of connection, of anchoring at a time when we're anxiety ridden, we're overwhelmed, we are heavily doped up on technology. And so the idea is to pick something. So I'll just give an example. What word do I need to remember this holiday season so that I can be at my best self, connect to others, and to my higher power? And I pulled mindful, which is throat chakra. So, right here, your 5th chakra, communication, speaking your truth, being fully self expressed. Being mindful is to act in loving kindness. And actually, that's one of my morning rituals after my meditation and prayer. Um, and my anchor words is to say the loving kindness prayer. So ritual, I didn't mention this, can borrow from other traditions with care and with reverence. So that's what my deck is about, and my books are about honoring your soul, filling your cup, and they are finished, and I'm in the process of nailing down a publisher.
Well, and I have to say, you had asked me my ritual, and Jenny, you got me through. I pull your card every day, and it grounds me.
Good.
So
I'm so glad.
That has been part of my ritual. So, thank you. The cards are beautiful.
And I'll just quickly interject is so a ritual can be daily, but then a ritual can be seasonal, monthly. Every birthday, for me, it's in February, I do a big on reading. I have 19 card decks. And so I do a big reading on my birthday. I actually do a big card reading each season. Full moon, I have a ritual of putting my crystals out in the moonlight. So your rituals, besides being daily, they can also be seasonal, monthly, particular times in your life to honor and celebrate.
Jenny, you want to finish off with a quote for us to end this beautiful show?
I would love to finish off with a quote for you. So I invite each and every one of you who is tuned into the show to embrace a daily ritual that feeds and fuels your soul. And may it be the oxygen for your spirit and quench the thirst of your heart.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
This
Julie and
was
Sharon, thank you for having me.
and I think what a beautiful way to end this year,
It is a beautiful way
Yeah.
to end the year, to do this ritual show. I hope it is uplifting for everybody that watches this show. And really, Jenny, I can't thank you enough for launching the show and wrapping it up for the year for 2020.
Oh, what
You're
an
the
honor.
bookend. You're the
Yeah.
morning and
Oh,
the
I
evening.
that's true. She is.
I love being a bookend. I
Yes.
love it. Yeah. I could actually go on. There's so much more. Rituals is so rich. So thank you for having me.
Let me say this too before Jenny goes. First of all, if you like the show, I have never done this yet, so I'm going to do it now. Please subscribe if you like it, and like. If you like it, like us.
Yes.
We would love your support, and it helps us to rise in the search engine.
You two are a delight. And yes, subscribe to genxoomers. If you are ready to fill your cup, you should subscribe below.
Thank you, Jenny.
Cheers.